Hello everyone, I'm Kathy Kelly and welcome to AMC Movie Talk. Movie Talk for movie fans. Every day we run down the top stories in the world of movie news just for you. Joining me is AMC Movie News Senior Editor John Campea. Hey John.
Hello.
And we are going to start things off with this. We've known for some time that 20th Century Fox was planning on rebooting the Fantastic Four franchise with a new cast and new director, and it appears they've now got everything put in motion as it was announced that the new Fantastic Four has an official release date. You'll be able to catch the new version of the Fantastic Four in AMC theaters everywhere on March 6th, 2015. So John, are audiences ready for the new Fantastic Four?
I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, look, there's a couple things to take in consideration here. Fantastic Four is one of the best comic book superhero teams ever devised and put onto the printed page. But the first two Fantastic Four films were also crap. I mean, there's just no getting around. They were bad, and they were badly casted. Now, having said that they were badly casted, I actually liked Chris Evans as Johnny Storm. I actually liked Michael Chiklis as the Thing. But I mean, Jessica Alba as Sue Storm? I mean, that's just complete miscasting. I didn't like what they did with it. The sequel was even worse. And making Galactus a storm cloud. I know, Dennis, you were a big fan of Storm Cloud Galactus.
Oh, yeah.
And I mean, they just messed this up so badly. Has it been long enough to do a reboot? Maybe by the traditional standards, no, but it is a beloved franchise, a franchise they can make a lot of money on. Also, very exciting that Josh Trank, who's the director of last year's Chronicle, is said to going to be directing this. I think that's fantastic news, pardon the pun. So, generally speaking, I think people will really resist the idea of Fantastic Four reboot at first, but I think people will still go see it, and we'll just see how it kind of unfolds from there.
Last week, a new image of Henry Cavill appeared on the cover of a French film magazine and launched a new round of debates online, with many fans of the television show Smallville renewing their calls for actor Tom Welling to play the new Superman. Now, obviously, with shooting complete, Henry Cavill is the new Superman. But John, does the army of Smallville fans have a point? Should Tom Welling be the new Superman?
Okay. You always got to be careful when dealing with Smallville fans. I know this because I am a Smallville fan. I watched all 10 seasons of Smallville. I like Smallville very much. But yeah, it has been crazy. The amount of debate that has resurfaced of people saying Tom Welling needs to be the new Superman has been really overwhelming, as a matter of fact. Now, as a Smallville fan, I got to say up front, no, Tom Welling should not have been the new Superman. Now, instantly, when you say that, some Smallville fans, remember, I'm one of you, I am one of your kind, that when you say that Tom Welling should not be the new Superman fan, some Smallville fans want to get their back up and get defensive and say, that means you disrespect Smallville. Not at all. I loved Smallville. I loved it so much I even put up with the final season, which I didn't think was all that great. But I love Smallville a lot. But you have to understand something. And this is why I say I don't think Tom Welling should have been Superman. Smallville and Superman are two different things. When the creators of Smallville first started the show, they had a couple of rules. First of all, they said, this is an alternate universe. This is our rendition of the Superman mythology. But they also said a couple things. We're never going to see him fly, which we know that didn't, I mean, we ultimately did see him fly, but they said we're never going to see him fly, and we're never going to see him in the costume. And the reason they wanted to make sure we understood that Smallville was an alternate universe, a different take on Superman, but not actually Superman. And the reason they didn't want to have the costume and all that kind of stuff is because they wanted to be free from the confines of the Superman mythology. If they had said, this is Superman, then instantly they would have been handcuffed to having to follow the Superman canon and do things the Superman way. But they didn't want that. Thankfully, they didn't want that. They wanted to be able to have Smallville and do whatever they want. They wanted to have Clark meet Lois Lane whenever they wanted him to meet Lois Lane. They wanted to bring in Green Arrow and other characters whenever they wanted to do it. They wanted to be able to kill off Lex Luthor whenever they wanted to do it. So they were very careful to say, hey, yes, this is a version of the Superman story, but this isn't Superman. And so they gave themselves the freedom, thankfully, to do whatever they wanted to do. But now bring us to modern day. that means we still have to accept that Smallville and Superman are two different things. If they were to make Tom Welling Superman, and by the way, I'm all for a Smallville movie. I really am. I'm completely, in a couple of years, give us a Smallville movie, I will be first in line to see it. But if suddenly now you made Tom Welling Superman, well, that means then that they have to completely either, one, trash true Superman canon, or contradict all the stuff they did in Smallville. And I don't think anybody wants either of those things. So would I like to see Tom Welling back as a Smallville Clark Kent / Superman? Absolutely, give me a Smallville movie. But my fellow Smallville fans, it would have made no sense. As great as Tom Welling was in the show, it would have made no sense to have Tom Welling as the new real version of Superman, as opposed to the wonderful, rich Smallville version of Superman, which they gave us over 10 seasons. I just think if you're a true Smallville fan, you don't want Tom Welling to play Superman because you don't want to compromise either.
Yeah, so you're saying new Superman, new actor.
New Superman, new actor. And Henry Cavill is awesome. He is great, and I think he's going to be a wonderful Superman.
All right. As most of you know by now, Disney has purchased Lucasfilms and is planning on releasing a new Star Wars movie, Star Wars Episode 7, in 2015, with more films to follow. No one really seems more excited by the news than Samuel L. Jackson, who really wants to be in the film. In a recent interview, Jackson said this: "I'm not surprised, but totally geeked out by the idea of there being more Star Wars." Jackson told E! News, "Obi-Wan was dead when Episode 4 started, so maybe everyone thinks I'm dead, and we'll find out what happened to Mace Windu. I can come back as a one-armed or a one-handed Jedi that's still around that didn't actually die. I could do that, or be a ghost hologram. I don't care, I just want to be associated with the franchise." So John, is there any chance we could see Jackson in this new Star Wars film?
None. There is no chance we're going to see Samuel Jackson back. And look, I'm one of those guys who I had my doubts, but I actually kind of like Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu, especially in the second film when he's like, you know, they're in the arena and he jumps off the balcony down into the arena and his lightsaber's out. He looked pretty badass. So I actually did not, as much as I didn't really like the prequel Star Wars, I actually didn't mind Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu, surprisingly. But that being said, most Star Wars fans did not like the prequels. I am a lifelong Star. Actually, Kathy and you and I were just talking.
Yep.
I was just telling you that my first childhood memory, my earliest memory of my life, it was my mom taking me to see the first Star Wars. I can recite every word of every. I challenge anybody out there to a Star Wars trivia match. I will kill you in it. I'm that much of a Star Wars fanatic. But that being said, I did not like the prequels. And I think most Star Wars fans didn't like the prequels. And I think if for no other reason, I don't think we'll see Samuel Jackson back because I think Disney will not want to associate this new Star Wars Episode 7 with the prequels. I think they're going to want to put some distance between the new Star Wars and the prequels. I think people are hoping that Star Wars will return to glory and not remember the prequels. But Dennis, I mean, you're a big Star Wars fan like me. Would you like to see Samuel Jackson back? Do you think this is a possibility?
Well, unlike you, I didn't really care for Sam Jackson as Mace Windu in the prequels, so I don't want to see him back. I don't think it's likely. I mean, he supposedly died. You know, he got his hand cut off and
tossed out the window.
Yeah, tossed
but
out
we
the
never
window.
saw him die.
No, we didn't. But at the same time, I mean, they could, you know, do a whole thing.
Sure,
He
there's
got
a way they
saved.
could do it.
I don't think they should. I didn't care much for his character. I think if it wasn't Sam Jackson playing Mace Windu, I don't think I would have even really remembered the character.
Yeah, you know what the other thing is? A lot of people forget, this is actually a great story. Samuel Jackson got the role of Mace Windu because he got on The Tonight Show and begged on camera in front of a national audience, begged George Lucas, please put me in the new Star Wars movies. But George Lucas isn't around anymore. George Lucas isn't running the show now, and I think there goes that avenue. So I think that just adds to the reason why, no, we will not see No matter how much he'd like to be in it, I don't think we're going to see Samuel Jackson in the new Star Wars.
Well, now he's begging Disney. So.
Now he's begging Disney.
The sequel to The Amazing Spider-Man opens in AMC theaters everywhere on May 2nd, 2014, and shooting begins in the coming months. We've recently learned a lot of the casting news from the film, as Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone are going to be joined by Jamie Foxx playing Electro, Shailene Woodley as Mary Jane, and Dane DeHaan as Harry Osborn. Well, you can add one more name to the list. Martin Sheen, who played Uncle Ben in the first film, has just confirmed that he's returning for the second film. So does this come as a surprise?
It might. It depends on what they're doing with Uncle Ben. I mean, look, it makes sense to hear Martin Sheen's coming back, and instantly we think flashbacks. We're going to see Peter Parker thinking back to life lessons he got from his uncle. That makes sense. But that being said, Mark Webb has told us and shown us that this is a new Spider-Man. This is a different Spider-Man. Does this open the door for zombie Uncle Ben? Well, maybe not zombie Uncle Ben, but the return of Uncle Ben? I don't know. See, here's the thing. What makes most sense and what will probably happen is we're talking about flashbacks. That is probably what's going to happen. I am simply at a point where I'm not going to put anything by Mark Webb. I love The Amazing Spider-Man. I still think you're out of your mind if you didn't like The Amazing Spider-Man. I thought that was a terrific film. And Mark Webb, who knows? I mean, look, we're talking about a lot of science. In the last one, we're talking about drugs that regenerate an entire arm. Does somebody bring back zombie Uncle Ben? Probably not. I'm not saying that they will. I'm not even guessing that they will, but I'm not going to follow or shock if they are. So is it surprising? No, because it's probably flashbacks. But could it mean something surprising? Maybe.
I don't know if he's coming back. But speaking of another franchise, last week the new James Bond film Skyfall became the highest grossing Bond film of all time. This weekend, the movie reclaimed the #1 spot at the box office and passed Spider-Man 3 to become the highest grossing movie of all time for Sony Pictures. Spider-Man 3 previously held that record with $890 million, and now Skyfall has passed it with a total of $918 million worldwide. Does this surprise you at all?
Honestly, yes, it really does. And the reason it surprises me is because we are coming off of well, by its standards, a bad Bond film with Quantum of Solace. Most people generally agree that Quantum of Solace was a bit of a letdown. And so when you come off a letdown film, you kind of anticipate that the reaction will not be so good. But what did we get instead? We got a lot of anticipation. It almost like worked in reverse. It's almost like the fact that Quantum of Solace was a bit of a disappointment made people all the hungrier for a really good Bond film. Look, I've said this before, I will say it again. This is the best James Bond we have ever had. Daniel Craig is the best Bond we've ever had. I believe that wholeheartedly. And I think Skyfall just proves that even more. So I think people with the weakness of Quantum of Solace got all the more hungry for a good one. And when Skyfall gave us a good one, we ate it up as audience members. People have gone back to see it 2 or 3 times. I know, Dennis, you've seen it a couple of times.
Yep.
Mostly for the cinematography, right?
Yep, I watched it. I mean, I really like Skyfall, but I mainly rewatched it just for Roger Deakins' cinematography.
Right, which was beautiful. It's a beautiful looking film.
Gorgeous.
So, but all that, if you told me, hey, people are actually going to be hungrier for this Bond film because Quantum was a disappointment, people are really going to go back to see it 2 or 3 times, and there's got... If you had told me it was going to make $918 million worldwide and pass Spider-Man 3 for Sony's all-time money-making list, no way. No way. I couldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed it. So yes, this is surprising. And folks, it's still in theaters. It's #1 at the box office again. Like Kathy, you just said, go out and see it at AMC theaters. It's still there.
Yeah, close to $1 billion film. That's impressive. Yeah. So moving on, according to reports, Will Ferrell and comedian Kevin Hart are getting ready to team up for an upcoming comedy, Get Hard. The movie follows Ferrell as a rich bank manager who is wrongfully convicted and sentenced to time in a maximum security prison. To prepare himself for his incarceration, Ferrell's character hires the man who washes his car, Hart, to toughen him up for his final 30 days of freedom. John, do you think this sounds any good?
Sign me up. Look, I love Kevin Hart. Kevin came down to visit Dennis and I at our AMC in Century City 6-8 months ago, something like that. We spent some good time with him. He's very funny. He's super charming. His stand-up comedy is fantastic. He's got a Bill Cosby quality to him that he's a great storyteller in his comedy. And a lot of comedians don't have that ability. So he's great. And I'm like many people, I was willing to give up. I was ready to give up on Will Ferrell after that basketball movie he did and another piece of crap movie
the
that
ice
he
skating
did.
movie.
Blades of Glory, which was terrible. And
I actually liked it.
did you? You
Yes.
like Blades of Glory? But for me, it was a huge letdown. And then came Step Brothers. And my faith in Will Ferrell got completely renewed. And so I like Ferrell quite a bit. Putting Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart together alone, that sounds like a great idea. The premise for this movie, getting him ready to go to prison, I can already think of about 100 different things they can do. I love the title, Get Hard. It's a great title for a movie like this. So yeah, completely count me on board for a film like this. But listen, folks, that'll do it for us. We've completely run out of time. But we want to remind you, before we do anything else, before you do anything else, stop what you're doing and click the subscribe button. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, our amctheaters.com YouTube channel, which is right here. Just click subscribe. It's totally free, and that'll keep you up to date on everything going on in the world of movie news, our editorials, and of course, our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, don't forget to go on over and follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/AMCtheaters. Like us on Facebook. Almost 4 million people already have. Go to facebook.com/AMCtheaters. I want to thank Kathy for joining us. Thanks,
Thank you so
Kathy.
much for having me.
Mr. Dennis Zen.
Thanks for having me too.
And you guys for joining us. Thanks so much. Don't forget, subscribe to this channel. Share it around. Let everybody else know about it. And listen, jump into the comments section. We want to know what you think. What do you think about any of these stories about Tom Welling as Superman, about Fantastic Four, the next Spider-Man, Samuel Jackson as Mace Windu again? Who knows? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, my name is John Campea for AMC Movie News. Bye-bye.